Hello, user testing community. It is Mike McDowell once again from the Solutions Consulting team here at User Testing, back with another tip of the week. This week, I want to talk to you about a little problem that I've started seeing in some of our rating scale tasks that I'm seeing in some studies. And the problem is something called priming. And for a definition of that, I'm going to switch over to our great friends and partners over at Qualtrics. If you don't know about our Qualtrics integration when you're doing large scale surveys, I highly recommend you look into it, but it's not what I'm here to talk about today. I'm talking about priming. And I'm going to scroll down here and we can see priming is something that is easy to do by accident. It happens when someone is influenced by an idea, maybe an unrelated one, that's been introduced before they answer a question. For example, say you set a question that asks respondents for their 3 favorite tourism vacation destinations just after you ask them a question about their liking for French food. Will France be more likely to make the dream vacation list? Priming theory suggests so. So you can see by asking someone something related to the thing that comes after it, we can actually influence their answer. And so I want to show you an example of this that I've seen recently. So here's one of our rating scale questions. And the question is, how likely would you be to read the terms and conditions before accepting the offer? And the endpoints are very unlikely and very likely. Well, what we've done here is we've added one of the endpoints into the answer or into the question. And so it's not about whether it's likely or unlikely, it's how likely is it? And so mentally, we automatically anchor over to the likely side of the scale, and then we give some sort of a range in this area. I see this over and over again in certain studies. And it really means that perhaps you're not getting the most reliable result because you're priming your contributors. So I want to show you another even more impressive example of this. So I'm going to switch over to the test plan editor here. And this is a deviation on something I've seen recently. How concise was the title on the page you just saw? And then the 2 custom endpoints are too wordy and very concise. Now it's not as likely and unlikely are still bad, but not as bad as this, which is the word concise is clearly here and clearly here, and there's no wordy is not a variation on the word concise. So people will automatically say it's not a matter of whether or not it was concise, it's a matter of how concise was it. So I'm going to scale from my anchor of concise, and I'm going to then give an answer that leans towards the positive. Realistically, what we should do is we should think about changing the question to not include either of the words. And it should be something like this. Could be something simple as the title on the page you just saw was ... too wordy, very concise. Now we've taken away the anchor, we've taken away the priming, and we have made it much more likely that we're going to get an honest, unbiased answer to this question. So my advice to you today is when you create these rating scale tasks, do not include any of the words from the endpoints in the actual text of the task or the question. So by eliminating that, you are very much more likely to eliminate the bias in the question and get more reliable results for your research. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up for today, but I'll be back in 7 days with another tip of the week.